You still think that eating plenty of vegetables is the best way to live healthily every day? You believe that as long as you eat lots of greens, your body will feel light, your joints agile, and your cardiovascular system protected? That is not entirely wrong, but it is not completely accurate. Science has shown that not all vegetables are as beneficial as we think, especially once the body has passed the age of 50. When digestive function begins to slow, kidney efficiency wanes, and the silent inflammatory reactions within the body grow more widespread. Every vegetable we choose and every cooking method we apply can be either a dose of medicine or a factor that allows disease to progress silently within us. There are vegetables that seem harmless, such as raw spinach, canned corn, or eggplant. But if used incorrectly, they can raise blood pressure, cause fluid retention, indigestion, bloating, endocrine disruption, and even reduce the effectiveness of medications in use. Meanwhile, quiet vegetables like beets, chard, or rainbow chard, when properly combined, become powerful allies in stabilizing blood pressure, improving memory, protecting vision, boosting immunity, and preventing bone and joint aging. This is especially critical for older adults. When metabolism slows, their constitutions become more easily irritated, and their immune and excretory systems grow more sensitive. A single wrong choice, such as eating too much raw cabbage or using canned corn every morning, can skew blood pressure, accumulate hidden salts and sugars, leaving the body fatigued all day without clear cause. Today's video will help dispel the common misconception: all vegetables are good. We will explore together the 4 worst vegetables that middle-aged and elderly people should limit or adjust how they use to avoid the silent buildup of disease risks, along with the 4 best vegetables, neither expensive nor hard to find, but which offer a golden solution for blood pressure, digestion, bones and joints, and memory. Each section comes with a concise scientific explanation, clear metabolic mechanisms, and specific usage guidelines that are easy to apply in daily meals. This is not a mere nutritional list. This is a life or death guide intended for those over 50 to understand that eating the right vegetables in the right way at the right time is how to protect your health without relying on medication. Watch until the end of the video, because a small change in today's meal can make a big difference to your cardiovascular health, memory, and quality of life in the future. From middle age onward, the digestive, cardiovascular, renal, and musculoskeletal systems begin to speak up if the diet is no longer appropriate. Many people think that simply eating a lot of vegetables is good. The more, the healthier. But the truth is not so simple. Not every vegetable is benign for older adults, especially when the body's metabolism, absorption, and excretion have changed. There are vegetables traditionally considered harmless, such as raw spinach, canned corn, or eggplant. But if used incorrectly, eaten at the wrong time, or not prepared appropriately, they become a silent burden, causing a host of problems with blood sugar, blood pressure, kidney stones, and metabolic disorders. Below are the 4 vegetables ranked among the worst for the elderly if not used correctly, along with an in-depth analysis of the causes, harmful mechanisms, and especially safer, easier to apply daily alternatives. For 1, canned corn, the anonymous enemy in convenient meals. For many older adults, corn is a familiar, easy to eat, easy to prepare food. However, canned corn, though convenient, is one of the silent dangers to elderly health. The problem is not the kernels themselves, but industrial processing and accompanying additives. Most canned corn on the market today is augmented with sugar and salt to enhance flavor and extend shelf life. Corn's glycemic index (GI) is already high, but when combined with added sugar, it can send blood glucose soaring after a single meal. For seniors, a group prone to insulin resistance, prediabetes, or diabetes, this can trigger an energy crash post-meal. Initially feeling alert and energized, but 1 to 2 hours later, the body becomes exhausted and unfocused. This mechanism arises because rapid glucose absorption forces the pancreas to surge insulin secretion. If repeated frequently, this leads to insulin resistance, abdominal fat accumulation, and promotion of chronic inflammation, the underlying factor in a host of conditions such as cardiovascular disease, fatty liver, and neurodegeneration. Moreover, sodium levels in canned corn often exceed 300 to 400 milligrams per serving, enough to cause mild edema in those with weakened renal function. Excess sodium draws water into the vasculature, increasing blood volume, putting pressure on the heart, and causing a slight postprandial blood pressure rise. For those on antihypertensive medication, this is a trigger for dangerous index fluctuations. Solution: choose fresh corn instead. Boil, grill, or steam it without adding salt or sugar, and eat it warm. Alternatively, to satisfy natural sweetness without spiking blood sugar too quickly, use fresh or frozen peas, which have a lower GI and provide soluble fiber to slow sugar absorption and stabilize post-meal energy. 2. Cruciferous vegetables, good but not quite right. Cruciferous vegetables, such as cabbage, watercress, daikon radish, and mustard greens, are hailed as heroes of the veggie world for their high sulforaphane content, a potent anti-cancer agent. However, eating these vegetables raw can harm the thyroid and digestive tract, especially in older adults. The primary issue is goitrogens, natural compounds that inhibit iodine uptake, the mineral essential for thyroid T3 and T4 hormone production. Regularly eating raw crucifers without enough iodine supplementation increases hypothyroidism risk. Silent symptoms like fatigue, unexplained weight gain, cold extremities, and dry skin can be direct consequences. Simultaneously, insoluble fiber in raw crucifers, a benefit for younger people, becomes a burden for the elderly. As digestive enzyme activity declines and bowel motility weakens, indigestible fibers ferment in the colon, generating gas, bloating, and prolonged digestive discomfort. Solution: instead of eating raw, briefly blanch crucifers by steaming or boiling for 1 to 3 minutes, enough to break down goitrogens and soften fiber without destroying sulforaphane. Also, pair meals with natural iodine sources such as seaweed, marine fish, or free-range eggs to support stable thyroid function. Those with sensitive stomachs can lightly sauté the blanched greens in olive oil to enhance absorption of fat-soluble vitamins. Eggplant, when a rustic dish becomes a joint inflammation trigger. Eggplant is a popular dish in many diets. However, it belongs to the nightshade family, plants containing the alkaloid solanine, which can stimulate inflammatory reactions, especially in those with pre-existing joint conditions, arthritis, or rheumatoid arthritis. Solanine concentrates in the eggplant's skin and tiny inner seeds. Once ingested, it can activate immune cells like macrophages and T lymphocytes, leading to elevated production of inflammatory cytokines such as TNF-alpha and IL-6. In individuals with underlying inflammation, common in older adults, regular consumption of eggplant can worsen joint pain, swelling, and reduce mobility. Solution: if you still love eggplant, peel off the skin, soak slices in mild salt water for 15 to 20 minutes, then rinse thoroughly and cook thoroughly. This process significantly reduces solanine content. For a safer alternative, substitute with sweet squashes like pumpkin, zucchini, or Japanese kabocha. They contain easily digested fiber and no inflammation-inducing alkaloids, while supporting digestion and glycemic control. 4. Spinach. When a superfood requires caution, spinach is lauded as the king of greens for its high vitamin K, iron, calcium, and antioxidant content. However, eating raw spinach poses two major issues for older adults: high oxalate content and excessive vitamin K1. Oxalate binds calcium and iron in the gut, forming insoluble salts. This reduces mineral absorption, leading to anemia, osteoporosis, and chronic fatigue. More serious, high oxalate intake raises the risk of calcium oxalate kidney stones, a common condition in seniors who drink little water or have a stone history. Furthermore, raw spinach's high vitamin K content, essential for blood clotting, can interfere with anticoagulant medications like warfarin. Excess K reduces drug efficacy, causing INR levels to fall outside the safe range and increasing the risk of abnormal clotting. Extremely dangerous. Solution: to make spinach a true superfood, cook it lightly by sautéing, steaming, or blanching, methods that reduce oxalate by 30 to 50% and soften the leaves for better absorption. Patients on anticoagulants should monitor their greens intake closely, replacing raw spinach with cooked kale, Chinese broccoli, or water spinach, lower in oxalate and less likely to impact INR. Thus, you see that the 4 vegetables above are not inherently bad if used correctly. But if eaten at the wrong time, cooked incorrectly, or combined improperly with other foods, they become silent contributors to deteriorating health in old age. In the next section, we will explore the perfect substitutes, easily digested, anti-inflammatory, mineral-rich vegetables, and, above all, suited to the unique constitution and metabolism of those over 50. Right now, I will present friendlier, more easily absorbed options that offer clear benefits for middle-aged health. These vegetables not only cause fewer metabolic disturbances, but also actively support blood pressure, bones and joints, digestion, vision, and immunity. Top concerns for those over 50. Contrary to the notion that all vegetables are good, the following 4 truly serve as genuine companions on the path to maintaining health naturally, safely, and sustainably. 1. Beetroot, the natural vasodilator from the kitchen garden. Not only brightly colored, beetroot is among the most powerful vegetables for supporting circulation and stabilizing blood pressure. 2 vital factors for older adults. What makes beetroot special is its high natural nitrate content, which converts in the body to nitric oxide, NO, a molecule that dilates blood vessel endothelium, thereby reducing peripheral resistance and lowering cardiac workload. This mechanism has been demonstrated in many clinical studies, especially in seniors with mild to moderate hypertension. Nitric oxide not only improves blood flow to the extremities, but also enhances cerebral perfusion, sharpening mental clarity and reducing the risk of cerebral ischemia and early memory loss. Moreover, NO supports endothelial function, a key factor in preventing atherosclerosis and stroke. The simplest and most effective way to use it is to juice beetroot and drink 100 to 150 milliliters daily, ideally 30 minutes before meals. You can add a splash of lemon juice to cut the natural sweetness and boost absorption of the vegetable's non-heme iron. Alternatively, you can boil or roast beetroot and serve it in salads with apple cider vinegar, not only for extra flavor, but also to aid digestion via the vinegar's acetic acid. A small note, beetroot may tint your urine pink, a completely normal, harmless effect. However, those with a history of calcium oxalate kidney stones should consume in moderation and drink plenty of water to help the kidneys excrete oxalate. 2. Bok choy, the superfood for bones and joints in old age. Bok choy is not only a familiar staple in our daily menus, but also a genuine superfood for bones and joints, thanks to its highly bioavailable calcium combined with vitamin K2, magnesium, and vitamin C. The perfect quartet for musculoskeletal, cardiovascular, and immune health. Unlike raw spinach, whose oxalates hinder calcium absorption, bok choy is very friendly to older bodies because its low oxalate content allows for better calcium uptake. Furthermore, the vitamin K2 in bok choy directs calcium ions into bone rather than vessel walls, thereby preventing both atherosclerosis and osteoporosis, 2 silent but extremely dangerous conditions in seniors. The synergy of calcium, magnesium, vitamin K2 maintains stable bone density while supporting nerve conduction and muscle contraction, helping older adults stay mobile and reducing fall risk. Additionally, bok choy's vitamin C supports endogenous collagen production, protecting cartilage and connective tissue. You can stir-fry bok choy with garlic and olive oil, or lightly steam it and add to chicken soup or congee to boost mineral content at mealtime. Note, do not overcook, as excessive heat destroys vitamin C and reduces nutritional quality. 3. Green peas, the triad of balance for blood sugar, digestion, and muscle. Among vegetables ideal for seniors, green peas stand out for their perfect balance of soluble and insoluble fiber and high plant protein content. This nutritional triad regulates blood sugar, supports digestion, and preserves lean muscle mass. Critically needed when the body begins to face sarcopenia, the age-related loss of muscle mass and strength. Peas. Soluble fiber slows sugar absorption, maintaining stable postprandial glucose levels, blunting insulin spikes, and helping prevent diabetic complications. Meanwhile, their insoluble fiber stimulates bowel motility, helping ward off constipation, one of the common disorders in the elderly due to reduced activity and poor hydration. Remarkably, green peas contain more plant protein than many other vegetables, playing a crucial role in preserving muscle, preventing atrophy, and warding off weakness. Combined with the B vitamins and folate in peas, cell synthesis and tissue repair proceed more smoothly. Versatile in use. Add peas to vegetable soup, mixed salads, morning congee, or stir-fry with lean meat. To retain their crisp sweetness and nutritional value, stir-fry quickly or lightly steam, avoiding prolonged cooking that dulls color and reduces B vitamins. 4. Swiss chard, the multitasking herb for liver, kidneys, and eyes. Swiss chard, with its sunshine-hued stalks, is not just visually appealing but also extremely rich in antioxidants and supports natural detoxification, making it especially suited for seniors with liver, kidney, or declining vision issues. The most notable feature of Swiss chard is its betalanine pigments, potent antioxidants that reduce systemic inflammation, stabilize liver cells, and limit oxidative damage. Moreover, Swiss chard is high in lutein and zeaxanthin, two carotenoids vital for older adults because they filter blue light, protect the retina, and lower the risk of age-related macular degeneration, the leading cause of blindness after 60. Additionally, Swiss chard's high magnesium and potassium content help regulate blood pressure, support kidney function, and enhance removal of toxins via urine, keeping the urinary system healthy. You can lightly sauté Swiss chard with garlic and olive oil, or cook it with lentils or white beans into a nourishing soup. Another appealing preparation is to briefly blanch and then toss it in salad with boiled eggs, apple cider vinegar, and sesame oil, creating a dish both beautiful to behold and beneficial for liver, kidney, and eye health. With these 4 best vegetables, each brings its own strength. From cardiovascular protection, blood sugar stabilization, digestive support, vision improvement, to joint inflammation prevention and muscle maintenance. Right now, I want to share with you a true lesson from the state of Arizona. A small change, a big result. At the age of 72, Mrs. Clementine Nash, a retired elementary school teacher living on the cool high plains of Flagstaff, Arizona, was always admired by her neighbors for her cheerful spirit, gentle manner, and simple lifestyle. Yet behind that appearance, she had quietly struggled with unpleasant health changes she once thought were just normal for old age. Fatigue after every meal, mild ankle swelling, and blood pressure regularly hitting 145/90. These were warning signs often overlooked or accepted as inevitable. Clementine was thrifty, preferred simplicity, and favored easy-to-prepare foods. For nearly a decade, her breakfast always included a serving of canned corn. She mixed it with boiled eggs or added it to her oatmeal for natural sweetness. No sugar, no frying. She believed it was a healthy habit. But she never realized that that small golden can of corn was partly to blame for her elevated blood pressure and morning fatigue. One March morning, during her routine checkup at the community clinic, the general practitioner, who had followed her records for many years, advised Clementine to take a closer look at hidden sodium and sugar in her breakfast. At first she hesitated. It's just a little can of corn. How bad can it be? But after reading the label, she was shocked to discover that each serving of canned corn contained over 300 milligrams of sodium and nearly 6 grams of added sugar, a significant amount for someone with pre-hypertension like her. The intervention began with very gentle but deliberate changes. First, Clementine completely removed canned corn from her diet, replacing it with freshly boiled corn, bought at the local farmer's market every weekend with no added salt when cooking. She began incorporating fresh peas into vegetable soups or lightly stir-fried with a little olive oil, both to add soluble fiber and to bring variety to her meals. The doctor suggested she also try lightly steamed or boiled greens like bok choy, zucchini, and Swiss chard, easily digestible vegetables that boost dietary potassium to partially offset accumulated sodium. In addition, Mrs. Clementine was reminded to drink enough water, at least 1.5 liters a day, to support her kidneys in excreting excess salt and easing circulatory load. She used a small notebook to record her daily water intake and the dishes she ate, allowing her to gradually adjust and avoid repeating foods with hidden sugar or salt. After just 4 weeks of these small but consistent changes, the results astonished her. Her average blood pressure fell to 128/78 mmHg. She lost nearly 4 pounds without starving or strict dieting. Most notable, the ankle swelling, which had made wearing closed shoes difficult, disappeared entirely. And what she valued above all, I no longer feel tired after breakfast. My mind is clear, and I'm not sleepy like before. At the second follow-up, the doctor quoted her to share with other patients at the clinic's nutrition seminar. A small change in the corn transformed my blood pressure and energy. Mrs. Clementine Nash's story is a vivid testament to the power of precise nutritional knowledge and timely action. For older adults, there is no need for drastic changes or expensive superfoods. What matters is identifying root causes and proactively making small adjustments. Seemingly trivial, like swapping canned corn for boiled and adding steamed greens instead of raw, can trigger a positive domino effect across metabolism, circulation, and energy. In an era when every health tip comes with a product recommendation, sometimes the simplest solutions are exactly what we need, when properly guided and consistently applied. And on the journey of caring for health in old age, stories like Mrs. Clementine's are not just medical lessons, but reminders of the awakening and self-empowerment in managing one's own health, no matter the age. We have journeyed together through the exploration of 8 vegetables. Among them, 4 worst vegetables that seem harmless but can cause silent inflammation, disrupt metabolism, and even affect the efficacy of medications, especially in older adults. From canned corn loaded with sodium and hidden sugar, to raw cruciferous with goitrogens that inhibit the thyroid, and onto eggplant and raw spinach, each carries its own downside if used incorrectly or at the wrong time. Conversely, the 4 best vegetables, beetroot, bok choy, green peas, and Swiss chard, are not only easy to find and prepare, but also enhance blood circulation, support digestion, protect bones and joints, improve vision, and boost immunity in a sustainable way. The important thing is that they require no miracle cure or complicated recipes. They only need to be incorporated into your meals in a skillful, scientific manner. So, I'll sum up today's video lesson for you. Choosing vegetables is not simply about eating more, but about eating right. Listen to your body, observe its reactions after each meal, and gradually adjust which vegetables you eat. That is how older adults can care for themselves intelligently and proactively. And now, let's start with the smallest action. Eliminate 1 bad vegetable from today's list and add 1 good vegetable that suits you. Try it for 1 week. Then, listen to your body. Notice the changes, from energy and digestion to sleep and mood. And if you found this video helpful, click the subscribe button so you won't miss the latest updates from Healthy Dynamics, where we always provide the most accurate, easy to understand, and practical health knowledge for middle-aged and older adults. Don't forget to turn on notifications so that each day you receive a small reminder that health can begin with something very simple: choosing right in your daily meals. Thank you for joining us, and see you in the next video.